I know a lot of young girls follow me, and I want y'all to start correcting shit. I don't want us to be one of those older bitches that be bitter and mean and single and just acting up all the time and just like not the vibe. I want to give mature, I want to give grown, I want to give sexy, I want to give intelligence, I want to give emotionally intelligent. And if that's what you're trying to give, keep watching. No one is actually putting into account your little bitch ass feelings. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna be honest. No one is putting into account your little bitch ass feelings. You really gotta understand that everyone is just doing what's best for them. Like, look at this face and look at this hair. What do I look like being all emotional and overreacting to everything and personalizing everything? Now I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, I look too good to be acting up like that. That shit is not it at all. Okay. Hi my loves, so this video, as y'all can see by the title, I'm about to put y'all onto game basically, especially if you're a young girl. You probably struggle with a couple of the mental stuff that I struggled with before, so I kind of wrote down some talking points just to put y'all on about how I basically reprogrammed my mind into stop being such an emotional ass. Okay, and I'm gonna try to keep my cursing at a minimum because I feel like I curse like a freaking sailor, and it's honestly not attractive. It's not ladylike. It's just a super bad habit. But anyways, guys, so disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not licensed at anything, I'm not a psychiatrist. These are just recommendations, okay? You don't have to take this advice. This might not apply to you. You feel what I'm saying? These are just things that I did that helped me change my mind a lot. And it actually helped me basically kind of go through this thing we call life a lot easier. Okay, I'm gonna start this off by saying that this is not a way to turn off your emotions. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how to be numb. I myself am a very emotional person, and the way I reprogrammed my brain, I still feel emotion. Okay, it's just that I don't act on them. Not only do I not act on them, but I don't act on fucking impulse the way I used to before. I used to be very spiteful, very petty, very emotional. Like, I just went on any little thing that I felt, I was just acting on it right away. And if you really think about it, you don't make the best decisions when you're in your own head being all emotional and upset or whatever the feeling may be. You don't make the best decisions because you're in the moment. You're in the moment. I've been able to accept and understand my emotions and how I've been able to control my reactions. And the way I react and what I put out there in the world, because honestly, I'm not the perfect person, you feel me? And I'm still learning. This is just me putting y'all on to little things that I have kind of like picked up along the way, because I've realized that my behavior and the way I be acting sometimes, it don't be given. Like, look at this face and look at this hair. What do I look like being all emotional and overreacting to everything and personalizing everything? Now I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, I look too good to be acting up like that. That shit is not it at all. Okay, so one of the things that I did, I'm sorry y'all, you're gonna see me looking down because I'm looking at my notes, because I really had to write notes, because if not I will be going off on tangents and rants, and I do not want to do that. I want to get straight to the point, and I honestly want to just hit every single point that I have here. Y'all see how much I'm scrolling, right? Yeah, because it's a lot, but I want to hit on every single point and not waste no time, because honestly, these are gems. These are from various books that I've read, and also lessons that my mom have taught me, and just also what I've kind of conquered up throughout my life. The first thing, of course, is acknowledging that you're doing something wrong, right? Because if you're not acknowledging what the hell you do wrong, then you're in denial, and how are you gonna fix it if you don't know what the hell you're trying to fix? You feel me? So at first, what I did was I reflected on past experiences, not only in romantic relationships, but also in friendships, my day-to-day interactions with the people that I love, and also with strangers. How do I treat others? How do I act when I'm in certain situations, when I'm in high pressure situations, when I'm in high stress situations, when I'm arguing with a loved one, when I'm arguing with my man, when someone pisses me off, when someone makes me upset or whatever. And I started to notice a pattern. Okay, I started to notice a pattern in my behavior, which was mainly, okay, it's all good. It's all good. But we know good and damn well it's not all good whenever we say, it's all good, it's alright, it's nothing, it's nothing. So that already starts kind of brewing up the pettiness. In the back of your mind, you be like, bet, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna get your motherfucking ass. As soon as I get a chance to get you, I'm gonna get you. And that's really how I used to move. Like, I used to be like, okay, it's nothing. I would never really, I used to argue, don't get me wrong. But I wouldn't really go as hard as I really wanted to in the back of my mind, because I knew there would always come a time where I can get my get back. And that's honestly not really a good way to think, but it's just counterproductive, because you're just thinking about and trying to find ways to hurt someone else that has hurt you, when you can honestly just move on and move forward with your life and actually get some like different experiences. So when you're trying to get back and you're waiting for the perfect time to get back at someone, it's gonna be a cycle. Like, you're not gonna get the good things that you genuinely want out of life, because all of your experiences are gonna be the fucking same. And at a certain point, you gotta look at yourself, okay? So basically, I started looking at myself, and I really started talking to myself like, damn, some of the things that I be doing are really, really fucking petty and just overly emotional. Like, you don't have to do all that. You don't have to do all that. But once you're able to pinpoint those patterns and those cycles, now you really can get to start moving forward. This might honestly be one of the hardest parts. The beginning of genuinely like reprogramming your mind is the hardest part. And once again, guys, I'm not a master at my emotions. I'm not a master at controlling my feelings or my thoughts or anything like that yet. But I'm a work in progress, and I just feel like I've definitely gotten to a point in my life where I've done a lot better. So I just wanted to share this progress with y'all, because I know a lot of young girls follow me, and I want y'all to start correcting shit. I don't want us to be one of those older bitches that be bitter and mean and single and just acting up all the time, and just like not the vibe. I want to give mature, I want to give grown, I want to give sexy, I want to give intelligence, I want to give emotionally intelligent. And if that's what you're trying to give, keep watching. But anyways, y'all, so also I remind myself of how much time I've spent obsessing with over understanding other people's actions and the reason behind their actions. Oh my god, this is such a key for me. This is such a key right here. Let me tell y'all something, especially with someone that was close to me, like a boyfriend or a friend. I used to really overanalyze every single thing that they said to me, or every single thing that they did around me or behind my back, and I used to personalize it. Let me tell y'all something. Do y'all really think that y'all loved ones and your friends and your boyfriend thinks about you more than you think about you? If you answered yes, you're delusional. If you answered no, then you're on the right path, because you're starting to wake up. You're starting to wake up, because let me tell you something. No one thinks about you more than you think about you, okay? So you need to get the fuck out of your own head. Most of the time, not even most of the time, 100% of the time, we're all individuals in our own individual reality and in our own world, just trying to figure this shit out. Whole time, none of us really know why the hell we're here and what the hell we're doing here. So when you personalize everyone's actions and everything everyone says, that makes you think that everyone is living in your world, and that shit is gonna be your fucking demise. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be your demise. No one's gonna want to deal with you if you're over there over analyzing every single thing a person around you says and does. Your friendships aren't going to last. Your relationships aren't going to last. No one is going to want to be around you. You're going to find yourself alone a lot of the time, because you don't just let people be. You got to understand that everyone is living and everyone is in their own world, and everyone is just trying to figure this shit out. Okay? So that's one of the main things I did. I'm not going to lie. That's one of the main things I did. I stopped personalizing everything. Everything is not about me. I know we're just girls. And we do tell ourselves that everything is about us and that the whole world revolves around us, but it's not really like that, okay? It's not really like that. Your world revolves around you, but other people's worlds are not inside of your world, okay? Remember that. Also acknowledging that although others have done stuff personally to you, it still has nothing to do with you. And I know this is very hard to accept, because it's like, what do you mean? They literally did that shit to me, to hurt me. Or they did it to me and they didn't have any kind of regard for how I would feel or how I would react. How am I the bad guy here, you know? But you got to understand that even in that decision that they have made that hurts you, it still might not have anything to do with you. It might be them really thinking that they did the best they could do for themselves at the time. Think about the times that you have probably made a difficult decision, regardless of how someone close to you might have felt. But you felt like it was the best decision and you had to make it for yourself at the time. Because once again, no one's thinking about you more than you're thinking about you. So you gotta apply that to other people as well. Like, damn, what they did hurt me, but they were doing the best for themselves. No one is actually putting into account your little bitch ass feelings. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna be honest. No one is putting into account your little bitch ass feelings. You really gotta understand that everyone is just doing what's best for them. Sometimes those decisions are going to work in your favor. Most of the time, it's not. And it's gonna hurt you. You feel me? So what I'm trying to tell y'all is that you gotta accept that reality, that very unfortunate and hurtful reality, so that you can be able to move on, so that you can be able to move forward and progress and blossom, okay? The way that I know you can. I know you can. I know you can. Another thing that I acknowledged was that I wore my emotions on my sleeve, meaning that everyone else can see what I'm feeling and they can have their way with the fact that they know that they made me feel a way. You cannot give anyone, and I mean anyone, that kind of power over you, okay? You are in your own head and you are in your own feelings. Not everyone needs to see that shit all the time. Stop wearing your emotions in your sleeve. It teaches people to do what the hell they want with you. And this is my thing, right? Not everyone is as such a good and kind-hearted person as you are. Not everyone has good intentions like you. So when you're just out in the open and constantly overreacting and constantly showing your emotions and your thoughts, you're gonna let people play with you, okay? You're gonna let people play on your strings. You know why? Because you're so easy to get. You're so easy to get. You need to learn how to. And if you need to lose your mind in your fucking crib, then do that. In the privacy of your own home, do that. But it don't need to be in front of a camera. It don't need to be in front of the person that bothered you or hurt you or upset you. And it doesn't need to be out in public. You can keep that to yourself. That's going to teach you how to have some discipline. And it's also going to teach you how to have some fucking self-respect. See how my voice is going out because I'm talking too damn much. I'm very passionate about this because when I tell y'all, it really took me some work. Some really, really true work and effort to get to where I am mentally now. It's crazy. Entertaining fake scenarios and nitpicking at everything. Cut it. Cut it. I already told y'all, personalizing everything and nitpicking at everything is going to be your demise. If you're constantly like, you did this wrong, you said this wrong, well, what did you mean by that? Well, why did you do that? Why didn't you do? They did what they did, okay? They did what they did. Let's figure out how the hell to move forward, okay? Instead of focusing on something that already happens. We can't go back in time and change it. It already happens. So we gotta move on, babes. We gotta move on, unfortunately. We gotta move on. I know it is what it is. I know it hurt you, all that. You can sit in those feelings and really work through them so you can understand them and let go of them. But you don't need to be constantly like, just... It's too much. It's fucking annoying, and it's also tiresome, not only for you but also for other people. You know, sometimes people genuinely do stuff without thinking about your little bitch ass feelings, and once they find out that it did hurt your feelings, they're genuinely sorry. So once they're genuinely sorry, that's where you choose, okay, is this genuine? Am I gonna move forward with that person? Or nah, fuck them, they did what they did, I'm gonna move forward. But you're not gonna keep stringing that person along and also telling them the same shit over and over and over and over and over again about what they did, because they're gonna get tired of that shit too. Now there's even more pain on both of y'all ends. You feel what I'm saying? Not worth it. Also, the fake scenarios, girl, oh my god, what I used to do and this is when I was a lot younger, especially in my romantic relationships, I used to be going crazy in my own head, like, damn, what did he post? What did that mean? Who could he be talking about? Or stalking his following, like, damn, who's this bitch? She's his type, da 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 da. That doesn't matter. That's none of my business. That's none of my business. And whatever I need to find out, I'm going to find it out, and I'm going to just do what's best for me and cut you off. I don't have to obsess over things that aren't there. They aren't real. The same way that you can be your own best friend, you can be your biggest and worst hater and enemy. And you need to figure out which one of the two you want to be, babe. You need to figure out which one of the two you want to be. You're going to realize that all of this whole entire video is going to come back to not taking everything personal. When you personalize every single thing, especially things outside of you, that's when you're going to find yourself honestly in a very unhappy and overly emotional state most of the time, because not everything has to do with you. Although you are in your own world, once again, everyone is not in your world. You're the only person in here. I'm the only person here. I'm the only person in here. I'm the only person that can hear this. I'm the only person that can feel this. Remember that. I honestly never thought that I took things personal, because the way I used to communicate was, you good, it's okay. It is what it is. It is what it is, and I never talked about it. You know what I would do? You know what my toxic, overly emotional ass would do? I would bottle it all up. And when it was the perfect time, I would just completely blow up. And quote unquote perfect means the most wrong and inappropriate time ever, literally, especially when trying to move on. Projection is like a mental image viewed as reality, right? It's like the unconscious transfer of one's own desires or emotions onto another person, right? So what that means is that I could be telling you about something, or we could be talking about something, or you could be telling me something, right? And you're painting a picture to me that has nothing to do with what we're actually talking about. Or you're finding a way to like make it about yourself and the way you see things, but it literally doesn't apply. It literally just doesn't apply. So for example, right, this is from Psychology Today. It says, if someone continuously bullies and ridicules a peer about his insecurities, the bully might be projecting his own struggle with self-esteem onto the other person. Okay, so just think about that, and think about ways that you might be projecting onto other people. And once you're able to pinpoint that, you gotta stop it in its tracks. So once you're able to pinpoint it in your mind, right, you can't stop it right then and there. When it comes up like actively in the moment, that's when you gotta make a mental note and be like, nah, we not doing that. Eventually your mind will be able to like, you know, slowly stop it from actually happening in real time, and you won't even have to tell yourself stop, you're projecting. But for the most part in the beginning, you gotta definitely literally stop yourself mid-sentence, like, oh nah, this is projection. Not out loud, but in your own head, like, oh nah, I'm projecting right now. I don't actually feel that way. This is just me showing my own insecurities and my own struggles within myself. Again, another thing that helped me a lot was constantly reminding myself that I'm in my own reality and others are in their own reality, and everyone is just doing what is best for them. That really helped me not take everything personal, y'all. When I tell y'all, that shit helped me so much, and it saved me from so much pain and so much hurt and also so much overthinking. I'm telling y'all, start reminding yourselves. That doesn't matter how often, just keep reminding yourself as much as you have to until it's drilled and engraved in your soul and your spirit, okay? I'm telling you, that shit is gonna save you. Not keeping things bottled up inside. If it's really bothering you that much, you can't shake it off your spirit, and you know you're not overreacting, then just have the conversation, you feel me? Once again, I'm not telling y'all how to be emotionless or numb. I'm teaching y'all how to manage your emotions and how to not overreact and personalize everything. If something is genuinely bother you, or you know you will feel better if you communicate it with whoever it needs to be directed at, then just have the conversation. You know why? Because sometimes all it takes is a fucking conversation, so you can save yourself of all the mental and emotional stress. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes just talk it out. It doesn't. Now let me tell y'all something. When you do go and communicate how you feel or whatever is bothering you, whether it's negative or positive, do not go in with expectations, and I'm gonna talk about that later. Do not go in with expectations, expecting the conversation to go a certain way, or expecting that person to understand you or apologize or anything like that, because that's also going to be your demise. Your expectations, I'm going to touch on it a little later, but your expectations, no. So if you're going to go and communicate with that person and let your feelings be known and just have the conversation and let that out, Have an open mind and an open heart that it may or may not be received the best, but at least you're being open and you're communicating how you feel, and it'll just end the way that it needs to end. Okay? Another thing that really truly helped me was taking time away from high stress or high pressure or very emotional situations. So for example, in real time, if it's through text or even in person, if you already feel yourself getting to another level of agitated or upset or just highly emotional, or you feel yourself about to say some petty shit or do some petty shit, or you're getting very angry, step away. It doesn't matter. Step away. I'm telling you right now, choose yourself and your self-respect and your self-love, and just step away from it. Tell the person, I need some time. I need to sit with my emotions a little bit. It sounds crazy, especially in a high stress situation. Like, that person might probably look at you like, oh, look at you trying to act all mature, whatever. They're going to try to poke at you, especially if they're upsetting you. They're going to try to poke at you. And people can also try to force you to talk about it now. But if you are not ready to talk about something in this moment, do not talk about it in that moment, because it can go so left. Step away if you need to. If you're texting, be like, hey, I need some time. I'm gonna hit you back when I'm ready to talk about this. And if they genuinely care, they will respect it. I promise you, they will respect it. The world is not gonna end if you don't have the conversation today, right now, in real time. It's not that serious. I promise you. I can guarantee you it's not that serious. So don't force anyone to try to communicate with you in real time whenever something is like, emotions are high. And also, don't force yourself to communicate when your emotions are high. Give yourself time. Give yourself grace. This is all about giving yourself grace, okay? Even if other people don't give it to you, give it to yourself. And another thing, give yourself the validation that you crave from others. This isn't really about emotions, even though it is, but this is just all a part of not personalizing everything. When you don't personalize everything, and when you give yourself the validation that you crave from others, you're going to learn to live for you unapologetically, and you're going to be able to love yourself. When I tell you, even as personal as from a parent, you could love your parent. Listen, you could literally die for your mom, your dad, whomever, your guardian, whomever you love, whomever you crave validation from the most. You got to let that go, because that can also put you down, because you're going to feel pressure to make them happy. Because at the end of the day, if you crave their validation, is that you crave their acceptance. You crave them being like, yeah, you did that right, or you're doing well, or you look good, or whatever the case may be. I don't care if it's a boyfriend, a husband, a friend, a parent. It doesn't matter who it is, your boss. Do not crave validation from anyone, and that will free you. That will free you. I'm telling you, that will free you. Also, holding yourself to the same standards that you hold other people. So you see how I told y'all about expectations, and if you go into a conversation or if you do something expecting something out of it, that's automatically going to be a big probability that you are going to experience disappointment. Like, I'm talking about 50-50. It's a 50-50 shot. Take your risk, because you can get something positive out of it, but still have an open mind and an open heart to know that there can be a negative outcome out of this. So you choose your battles. You figure out whether you want to take that risk or not. But you got to remember that the standards that you're holding other people to, you got to hold yourself to them as well. So if you're expecting someone to communicate you right now, especially if they're stressed out or emotions are high, then you better be giving that same thing back. You feel what I'm saying? And even if you're not getting what you want out of others, you should still be that person that you want other people to be with you to yourself. That also goes along with the validation thing. If you want good interactions, you need to be a good person to interact with. And that doesn't guarantee that every single time you have an interaction, it's going to be good. Just because you're a good person and you're an understanding person and you're a kind person and you're patient or whatever. No. But this is going to free you from the shackles of expectations, of disappointments, of hurting, of personalizing, all of that. Not only will it better your interactions with others, but it will also just make you feel good about the person you are and confident in who you are. Catching yourself in the act. So you got to get into the habit of stopping, or at least acknowledging when you are thinking or reacting a way that doesn't align with the person that you're trying to become. This is what you got to put into practice. Okay, in that moment, that's when you got to be like, it's giving, my name is Genesis, it's giving old Genesis. Or you know what, I can proceed. Because when you're praying, right, when you're talking to God, when you're in your Bible, when you're journaling or whatever, and you're telling God, deliver me from this, deliver me from that, and it's like certain things that you're going to be able to work on yourself. So when in real time, when you're in a moment where that comes up, that's God giving you an opportunity to make a better decision. So that's when it's up to you to tell yourself, this is an opportunity for me to do better. I want to, let's say, I want to be the person that gives me validation. I want to be the person that is better to communicate with. I want to be more patient. I want to be more understanding. I want to be this. I want to be that. I want to be this, that, and the third. God is going to put you in a situation when you have to do exactly what you want to do. So you got to choose, am I going to be my old self, or am I going to be my elevated, progressing, amazing, kind self that I truly want to be? So that's why I say catch yourself in the act, because whatever you ask for, God is going to put you in a situation, okay, where you put your words into practice and your desires into practice. So catch yourself in the act, and when you're in a highly stressful or emotions are high, and whatever moment that is, whatever that looks like for you, in the moment tell yourself, okay, am I gonna do and be better, or am I gonna continue to be my same old self? And also give yourself grace. If you don't make the best decision in that moment, that's fine. There's gonna be so many other moments. Guess what? You're alive. You're gonna constantly be experiencing moments where you're gonna have to make decisions, and the more moments you experience where you make better decisions, the easier it's gonna be for your brain to be like, oh, okay, this is actually the type of person we're becoming. So it's gonna be easier to be better as time goes on, and as you experience more, rather than your old self. Don't get me wrong, sometimes your old self is gonna come out. Give yourself grace. When your old self comes out and you make that decision, that's fine. It happens. Give yourself grace. But guess what you do next? You reflect on that and you make sure you do better the next time, and the next time, and the next time. You feel me? This is gonna be the last thing. If y'all want a part 2, y'all probably will get it in like a year, because I'm still working on myself. So I'm not going to be feeding y'all the same information over and over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a part 2 in like a year and give y'all some more tea. Because I'm still reading I'm still in my books, I'm still in my word, and I'm still practicing. So I'm going to give y'all some more tea. This is kind of just introductory. Letting go. Let go of control. Let go of your obsession to be validated from others. Let go of your expectations on other people. Not only does that put a lot of pressure on you and on your mind and on your emotions, but it puts a lot of pressure on others as well, when we are all just trying to figure this shit out, okay? So you don't need closure. Let me tell you something. You don't need closure. I know that a lot of y'all like to fake like y'all need closure, when really you just want to speak to the person that hurt you, and that's okay, bitch. Like, just be honest with yourself. Stop lying to yourself. And if you genuinely need closure, you're probably lying. There's nothing that person can tell you that's gonna make you feel better about whatever the hell they did to hurt you, okay? You just need to let that go. Experiences are just experiences. If you start realizing that in this world you're gonna meet so many people, you're gonna have so many different experiences, some of them good, some of them bad, you're gonna be able to let go of things easier, and they're not gonna affect you as badly as some do, because you're gonna understand that this is all a part of living. It's a part of life. You know when you're gonna stop experiencing bad shit? When you die. Literally, when you die is when you're gonna stop experiencing bad things. And the more that you elevate, and the more that you work on yourself and try to become the best version of yourself, the more shit is going to be thrown at you. But guess what? You're going to learn how to handle them a lot better. It's easier said than done. I'm telling y'all, you got to put it into practice. But when I tell y'all, these things have freed me so much. They have freed me mentally so much. And I navigate my friendships and my relationships so much better now, because I learn to just be like, you know what? That's their thinking. It's their life. They felt like they were doing what was best for them. Although it hurt me, it is what it is. I love you guys so much. I hope this video helps one of y'all out there. Do everything the YouTubers be telling y'all to do, and I will see y'all on the next one.